Hey guys, how you doing? Good? Alright, now, recently, a few days ago, I made a video about my top 5 favourite zombie maps. So, in addition to that, I decided I'm going to do my top 5 worst zombie maps, just to even out the scales. Now, as before, these are just my opinions on, which ones I dislike. These aren't generally bad maps, but they're just ones that I find either unplayable or ones I just don't like playing. So, yeah. Let's get to it. So at number 5, we have Origins to start off the list, which I know there's going to be a bit of hate here, because obviously this is an unusual selection, primarily because the map is quite nice and it's theatrical and whatever, and honestly, I kind of like it as well. I just have a few problems with it. First of all, when this map first came out, it introduced a few too many things that you can build and whatever. And that's not what I really wanted from zombies anymore. I wanted us to go back to the roots of zombies with this map. Like, not have to have anything to build, just classic, get to the pack-a-punch, get your perks, do all that malarkey. But no, we've got to build more crap and, start all the map up and everything. Another problem I have is this, which I know is an interesting new way to get the power up online and everything. And I know you don't have to do all of them, but you sort of do if you want to get the pack-a-punch up and ready. And it's just tedious work, if I'm honest. I really don't want to have to bother going around the entire map to turn all these on just to get to the pack-a-punch. It's just this map, I think, symbolises where zombies has gone now. It's no longer in the original runnings or whatever. It's now just moved on, forgotten what its original roots were, and now forcing us to do random unnecessary bullshit to kill zombies with. Which, don't get me wrong, is fair, but when I first heard about this map, I was hoping it would go back to zombies' roots. And it didn't, and that's why it let me down. So yeah, number 5, Origins. Now at number 4, we have 5. Now, this map is functional, don't get me wrong, and it's a bit of fun to begin with. My issue lies with the power, in the fact that I don't like to turn it on. And the reason for that is the Pentagon Thief, and that's something I don't think Zombie needs, i.e. a guy who comes in and steals your gun. I mean, yes, that does have the witches that does steal your points, fair enough. But there's a big difference between stealing your points and stealing your gun that I think affects zombies a bit more. On top of that, you have to start with war weapons all the way from the top floor all the way to the bottom. And then at that point you can start using box weapons. So that's something in addition that I think this map doesn't need either. I mean, yes, I've done the wall challenge on things like Derise and everything, that's fine. But the thing is, 5 is just too vast, and, you can get separated from your teammates quite quickly. And I don't think war weapons will cut it for that period of time if you do get separated. So, yeah. Number 4, 5. Now, at number 3, we have Moon. Now, this map, again like 5, I only have a few petty things that I'm a bit annoyed about with this map, but as a whole, it's functional still. But again, my problems are thus. First of all, getting Jug and Speed Cola. Now, those are obviously the main perks you want to have on a map like this, primarily because you can get swiped from left, right, and centre. But obviously, the game has a nasty habit of putting one of the perks on Earth, and as soon as you teleport upwards, you've got to wait to get it, the next time you go down. But you won't get it the next time because it changes every time you go back and forth through from Earth, so that doesn't really help you. In addition, gravity. Now, obviously, once you've turned the power on, the majority of the moon base becomes, it gets gravity. But in the areas where it doesn't, if you're jumping about trying to train, or a zombie comes in and just swipes you from behind, you jump, you may inadvertently run smack into another horde. And that's not something that you should have to worry about in a zombie game. But no, again, also, actually, one more thing I've just remembered, the bloody astronaut. Although he's not incredibly difficult to take out if you've got the right weapons, naturally, but my issue is, he teleports you when he headbutts you, and he steals your perks. Again, I like, the Pentagon Thief, something we shouldn't have to worry about. Weapons we don't want taking, points we don't want taking from the witches. We certainly don't want to lose our perks, because our perks are like the most expensive thing we have, unless you pack-punched your weapons, in which case, fair enough. But still, not something we want to lose. So yeah, number 3, Moon. So number 2 is Transit. Now, my reason for this is simple. First of all, the bus. Like, could we use an even worse method of transport to get around the whole map? Like, the map is ridiculously big, and this is our only method of transport unless you want to risk running around with the denizens. I mean, you can use the denizens to, you know, get another method of transport, but again, the map's so bloody big, I don't really think I want to waste my time. In addition to that, there's too much stuff to do. Like, this is where zombies started getting bad for me, in the sense that you now have to start making stuff and everything. And that wasn't something that I wanted to do in zombies. Like, at all. I don't know why the game decided it should, you know, include this sort of thing. But, whatever. People want more ways to kill zombies. I mean, this map, don't get me wrong, it's okay, it's one of the ones that I least like to play at all. Like, even its smaller versions, like the smaller maps like Farm and Town and everything, I don't even like those ones either. They seem like a complete waste of my time and effort. But yeah, people seem to like this map, so yeah, number 2, Transit. Now, before I reveal my number 1 worst Nazi zombie map, I would like to put this in as a sort of honourable mention of sorts, namely Dead Ops Arcade. Again, functional, but in my eyes, it's just really boring, because it's not a Nazi zombie map anymore. This one is just... I mean, I can understand where they were coming from when they decided to, you know, make this, but it's not Nazi zombies, this isn't. It's just a weird little arcade game. But anyway, that's why it's an honourable mention, because I'm not sure if this is supposed to be in here as a joke, or if they generally wanted this to be considered a Nazi zombie map, because, well, it's not. It's not a Nazi zombie map. There's no perks, there's no upgrades, there's no weapon box, there's just random weapon pickups and a whole lot of zombies that need to be taken care of. Now at number 1, and I know this is probably going to come to a bit of a shock and a bit of annoyance to some people, but it's Twonathon. I apologise. And the reason for that is simple. First of all, there's only one perk. And I know, they've brought it out as part of the mule kick thing where they put it on all the original maps. But when they've re-brought this set of maps out, like, you know, this one, Baruch, Shinonuma, Derise, they could have brought out a few extra perks for this map. Or at the very least put the Pack-a-Punch somewhere, for God's sake. But no, they just brought in Mule Kick of all perks. We don't need 3 guns, we need Juggernaut, for God's sake. In addition to that, the map is just too small now. Like, before, when it first came out, that's fine, it was alright when it came out, because, you know, this is the only map we had to deal with. And then they brought out Baruch and showed how big zombie maps can be. And then Shinonuma, and so on. And now looking back, this map is just too damn small. You have 3 rooms, and, you know, if you're smart, you go up the stairs and then you camp it out in that room. And if you're thick, you go through that door and you get yourself killed. But regardless, this map just isn't very good anymore. And I'm not saying it's, you know, not good for a little trip down memory lane or whatever, but it's just not the map it used to be anymore. Not with all the new perks, not with the Pack-a-Punch, not with all the big-ass maps. This map is just something I don't really like to play anymore. And I apologise if anyone gets annoyed at that statement, but yeah. Number 1, my worst map of Nazi zombies, Twonathon.